Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and commentary between KiWiKaKi. I think it's KiWiKaKi and CowGoMoo. So I'm most likely just gonna refer to them as Cow versus Kiwi. So it's much easier for me to say their names. We have Cow spawning over here as the blue Terran player at the 9 o'clock position of Lost Temple. Meanwhile, we have Kiwi spawning over here as the red Protoss player over here at the 2 o'clock position. Well, CowGoMoo, good luck, have fun. KiWiKaKi responding with just a simple have fun, not wishing his opponent luck. I don't know if that's bad manner or not, but whatever. I'll just say, you know what, you're really not wishing your opponent good luck when you're playing in a ladder game of StarCraft, and you really don't want him to be like, oh yeah, I hope you're lucky, I hope you find me and you're able to kill me. So yeah, I'll let that one slide. Anyways, we have a probe gonna go over here and gonna scout in the clockwise direction. Probe able to do that early scout as it doesn't need to be building that building after it warps it in. Meanwhile, we have that a single SCV now waiting probably for 150 minerals, now dropping down that secondary barracks. Interesting position on that barracks. It allows him to set up another tech lab over here, or that addition, while leaving these two buildings right over here, so those SCVs, when they come over here, are able to repair both those SCVs, the SCV and that barracks, without having to move around that building. So I really like that play. Now KiWiKaKi going for a very early assimilator before gateway. I'm interested on exactly what that strategy is in fact going to be. Not getting a secondary pylon yet, so a little bit curious on how this is really going to work. There's that extra pylon, and with that Nexus, with that Chrono Boost being used, is, going to try to warp in those units much more quickly. Taking a look at this build right here, the SCVs, the barracks are in fact 65 instead of 60, so this is prior to the patch. I'm still, or perhaps this is part of the Korean patches, I'm not 100% sure where these games are taken from. I'm having some people who can read Chinese go ahead and download some of these replays for me, and I don't want to be bothering my wife to go ahead and look up some Chinese replays for me, as she has other things to do than to support my StarCraft 2 habit. KiWiKaKi now running away with that single probe. We have an orbital command being upgraded for that single building, and now secondary marine being out as well, so now producing marine. So large number of reams out around the map. KiWiKaKi getting some zealots and now getting that cybernetic score. Has a large number of gas stashed up already, so unless that gas is really highly used, perhaps with high Templars or with dark Templars, not really sure why he went for such a strong early gas build. Currently not upgrading the warp gate facility or warp gate ability either. We'll see how that's really going to be used. Now getting those stalkers, so those stalkers cost 50 minerals, or 50 gas and 125 minerals. SCV now coming in as well, gonna do some scouting, gonna see in fact that there is already some units already in position, and see some gateways in position, and now that stalker really gonna be able to just shoot down that poor SCV. SCV is gonna see better days as it's gonna explode to a bunch of little bits in just a second. Oh, probe trying to chase him down. SCV still running for his life with that stalker. One more hit, boom, there it goes. So just the remnants of that little robotic arm being left behind. Coming back over here, we finally have a reactor now being built by CowGoMoo. So CowGoMoo going a reactor and getting a factory and a starport. Interested by the strategy, as there is nothing really just showing exactly what CowGoMoo is trying to do at this point in the game. CowGoMoo, and pretty much taking a look at the unit productions, has 20 SCVs. So 20 SCVs and 20 SCVs, 5 Marines, but that's really not very much at this point. Taking a look at the production, no, that's pause. Taking a look at the production unit, we have robotics facility and probes being produced, starport, a ghost academy, and a barracks as well. But a little bit surprised by that ghost academy, as there's not even a single tech lab anywhere on a single barracks yet. Starport is completed, and now we finally have a medevac being produced. Perhaps we're going to see a ghost drop in a tech lab, and now we're going to perhaps see some nuclear launches. Taking a look at where that Ghost Academy is. Ghost Academy hidden right by that refinery, and now we finally have the tech lab being produced. So now trying to produce some of those medevacs. Supply depot currently supply locked for CowGoMoo. Taking a look around the map, we have more gateways being warped in, a Twilight Council being warped in as well, so we may see some High Templars or some Dark Templars with that warp in ability. We have a factory now floating out, trying to do some scouting, trying to see if there is any additional expansions down over here, or perhaps to try to land over here and in fact set up some Hellions from a different location, so that factory is a little bit closer to the Protoss player of Kiwi. Right now, Probe still a single observer now heading out. That observer is going to be flying in, no turrets to be seen, and now also building some Marauders. I do not see a single ghost anywhere in the unit overlay or currently in production, so a little bit surprised by that. Why would he be building that Ghost Academy if he wasn't in fact trying to go for something, go for a cloak, or go for, no, there is a single ghost now in production. That ghost is going to take some time to build, as that ghost takes what, a mere 40 seconds, or the build time is 40. Engineering lab now being put down. Perhaps he sees the little distortion brought on by that observer. Factory now still floating out and making sure that there is no expansion over here at these destructible rocks, and now going to be coming over here to see if there's an expansion by these minerals as well, and going to see that he's pretty much economically at the same point as KiWiKaKi. Disruptors and Zealots in play, choking up this ramp point right now. Taking a look at the main base of KiWiKaKi. KiWiKaKi now getting a robotics base, so the Twilight Council was simply for charge, not for any additional higher level units. Robotics facility warping in that or will be able to warp in that Immortal and Colossi in just a moment. Let's see if he does in fact try to go for Colossi. That's the only thing I can really think he would really go for, unless he really wanted to get the speed upgrade on those observers. But I can't imagine that would be why he would just build a simple robotics facility. Marines now have that stim pack research, and now not getting that combat shield yet. So turrets also being brought into play with some supply depots. A tech lab now being added onto that starport, so that most likely is going to mean Banshees or Ravens, as I do not see a fusion core coming in anywhere, so there's not going to be any battle cruisers. Now KiWiKaKi finally getting that one building into place, and now that factory flying overhead. A very, very dangerous move by KiWiKaKi, as the factory may start to burn down. A little bit of a misplay if CowGoMoo gonna lose that. That factory down to 547 hit points and still able to barely escape with 508, and I do not think that is burning down. No, not burning down. So CowGoMoo lucking out a little bit over there. Can that barracks really land over here and really produce anything? That's a real question. Would be surprised if it was able to. Now here we have this Nexus nearing completion, so that Nexus will start to be mining in just a moment. SCV's now moving out, trying to get some bunkers and perhaps try to fortify this position. So both players deciding to play a very macro-intensive game. Starport up here now, so that Starport was moved from the bottom to that top side in order to produce some Vikings. So those Vikings would be a good counter to any Colossi that are being built, and there is in fact a Colossi currently being built as well. So now and has already a Colossi out amongst the field. So CowGoMoo using that factory over here, realizing that he is in fact going Colossi. Here comes that observer. Observer may get taken down by some missile turrets in just a moment, unless that observer tries to pull back away. There is that missile turret. Missile turret is in fact does not see it. So the range of sight on that missile turret just out of range from that single observer, or perhaps he can see it but can't shoot it down. Oh, poor observer gets taken down. So the sight range on a missile turret not quite as high as the sight range or as its damage range. Command center now being floated into position, going to be dropped off. 2 Marauders and a single empty bunker protecting that expansion. Currently, Colossi and KiWiKaKi not really doing any real moves at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and say stay tuned for part 2 and the conclusion of what I expect to be a very, very large battle between KiWiKaKi and CowGoMoo here on Lost Temple.